What's up, everybody? Grafting Avocado right here. We're here in fall. Happy fall. Yesterday was the first day of fall, and I think this is a great time to graft avocados for us here in Southern California and in most Mediterranean subtropical climates. I've always said fall is like second spring. The weather, we still have the heat from summer, but it's cooled down, sort of cooled down, and the temperatures are kind of stabilizing. Since we have the heat of summer, plants are still growing. They're in active growth, but there's something about the shorter days or something about something in the fall makes grafts take. I've had great experience grafting in the fall, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I think it's a great time to graft avocados. So let's get started. All right, let's go. I'm gonna graft onto these seedlings right here. These are reed avocado seedlings that I grew from a seed back in March 2022. These grow fast. This one is almost 2 feet tall or 1.5 feet tall. Here's another reed avocado seedling, and this one was November 2021. So seedlings are like kids, they all grow at different rates, but a common question I get asked is, when can I graft a seedling? Well, as long as it has the thickness of a pencil, you can graft onto it. So all you gotta do is take a pencil and then compare it to the thickness of the trunk. If it's as thick as the pencil, you can graft onto it, all right? Now today, I am going to graft the Nabal Avocado. Let me show you the sign. Let me take it out of the bag. This sign is prepared, it's ready to graft with. Subscribe to my channel and you will find a lot of videos on how to prepare these signs, how to cut them from the tree, where to cut them from the tree, and how to prepare them. That's all on my channel, so when you see the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, all right? Okay, now I'm gonna take off these leaf stems because I don't need them. These are the old leaf stems that were attached. That's where the leaves were, okay? Here's another Nabal scion. We're taking off the leaf stems. But I will leave these buds. Look at those buds. Those buds are your friends. They're your buds. Those are gonna be new leaves if the graft takes. These will eventually form new leaves. And that's another reason why I graft in the fall. It's because these leaf buds are swelling and they're juicy and they're irresistible. I can't help myself. When I see leaf buds on trees like this, I have to graft them, all right? So and fall is a good time to see the formation of these leaf buds, all right? I got my other tools here. Besides my scions, I got my pruning shears, grafting tape, and my trusty utility knife. Link to all of these will be in the description. You guys can find these all online, and they're really, really easy to find. And I also use rubber bands this year. With grafting, there's a lot of superstition involved because it's a very ancient practice. This year rubber bands have been working for me, so I'm going to continue to use rubber bands, all right? I've noticed that reed avocados grow really well in heat, and they can take a drought better than most other varieties. So there's a lot of reasons to grow the reed avocado, as if we needed more reasons, but they seem to perform really, really well in high heat conditions. That's another great reason to plant reed. Besides being an excellent, delicious avocado, they make great rootstocks as well, all right? Also fuerte, excellent rootstock. So I'm gonna get started here. I'm gonna take my grafting tape. I'm gonna get my clipping, my sign, and you see this bump? This is gonna cause problems when you're grafting. You want a flat surface, so I'm gonna remove that little bump. I want my sign to be as flat as possible. All right. So I'm gonna start wrapping this. And look at the stretch. That stretch is key. That stretch is a characteristic of this tape. Once you stretch it, it could stick to itself. And then I'm gonna wrap the whole thing. Just like that, cover everything except here where I'm gonna cut and insert it into the rootstock here. All right, it looks good. Now this tape is weak enough to allow itself to get broken if the graft takes, okay? So that's another quality of this tape. And there are other tapes that you can find online. their quality is not so good. I highly recommend this parafilm grafting tape. I think it's much better than the other grafting tapes, so-called grafting tapes that you can find online. All right. So we have it all wrapped up. I'm gonna bring it here. In this case, my scion is actually much thinner than the rootstock here. So we're gonna do a modified cleft graft to take care of that mismatch. I'm gonna show you a certain kind of graft you can do that will handle that mismatch in size, okay? Okay. Here's the part I hate. This is the part I don't like. I have to cut this. And I will cut this down here. Alright guys, look, there's a slight mismatch in size here and thickness. So I'm gonna make a special cut into this rootstock. Instead of cutting down the middle in the classic cleft, like in the classic cleft graft, I'm gonna go in between the middle and the end of the trunk, and I'm gonna cut down there. I'm gonna make my cut there, and we go down about an inch and a half, which is what, 2.5 centimeters, 3.5 centimeters, just like that. There's my cut. It's off to the side. It's a little flap there, and it could better take our scion here. Here's our scion. I cut this scion yesterday, and I kept it in the refrigerator overnight, and it has a brown tip. That's the old tip from when it was cut. I want a fresh tip, so I'm gonna cut off the very end there, just like that. All right. Now, I'm gonna make my cut here. We're gonna go just like that, long on one end. Same, about 1.5 inch cut to match up this cut here on the rootstock. But then I'm gonna go find the other side, and I'm gonna go about halfway of that. I'm gonna make a cut like that, and I want an arrow shape, so I'm gonna keep cutting until I get that arrow shape. And I think I got it. And I'm gonna cut off this very end to solidify our arrow. There we go. I think we got that arrow shape. Here, let me show you. See? Pointy end, pointy end. That's what it should look like. Long on one end, a little bit shorter on the other end, half cut on the other end, and an arrow shape. All right. Now let's insert. And in it goes. Just like that. That's what it should look like. Here's one angle. There's one angle. Here's the other angle. And here's the other side. So really important here, I lined up these layers here. I pushed these to the edge, and I'm lining them up on one end. And I think there's a good matchup there. It should look like that. There's a good matchup there. There's cambium contact here. And I think if you have that good contact there and they're touching, there's a high chance of a successful graft, all right? Now I'm gonna take more tape and I'm gonna wrap it. I will wrap it. I'm gonna stretch the tape. I'm gonna stabilize. I'm gonna hold the scion and rootstock together as I wrap. And I will wrap. Now, in this area, you really want to smash the scion and rootstock together. You want them to touch, you want them to fuse, you want them to be up close and personal with each other. So I'm really gonna put a few layers of tape here to really reinforce that contact, all right? Here's more tape. I like to do 4 or 5 layers of this tape around the part where I cut and inserted the scion here. 4 or 5 layers. This is probably more, and that's fine. Maybe this is 6 or 7, and that's okay too. Stretch and wrap. Stretch and wrap. Now, rubber band. Cut it, open it up. and to just another layer of reinforcement, just another layer to make sure the sound and the rootstock are really well touching each other. I will wrap again another rubber band to really reinforce that contact. And we're done. That graft is done. I'm gonna water it, treat it like any other avocado tree, and in about 3 weeks to a month, we should see some results. Look, we're in the shade. Notice how we're in the shade. Avocado trees love to be in the shade. Avocado trees are a rainforest tree. The young trees, especially like these, they're used to being in the shade. They're used to growing under the mother tree in the rainforest, and then they grow almost in complete shade. They grow and they reach for the canopy after many years, then they break the canopy, and then they become exposed to the sun. But the grafts will grow in the sun, and avocado trees themselves will grow in the shade. I mean, they will grow in the shade, so I'll leave them in mostly shade until I see some growth. Once the first growth flush matures and breaks through this tape, then it starts to go in a little bit of sun. All right, let me show you some grafts that I did just a few weeks ago. All right, people, check it out. Here's some grafts I did. Here's a Pinkerton avocado graft I did in August. I believe I did this at the end of August. And look, it's starting to grow out. Yes, that's a great sign. See how it's broken through the grafting tape? New leaves, buds have broken through the grafting tape. This graft is starting to take. Here's a Nabal graft I did also in late August 2022. And it's starting to grow as well. Great sign, looking really good. Here's a Nabal graft I did on August 16th, and look at this. Look at all this growth. Woo! Growing out real well. And this is where the graft was done, and the rubber band is starting to fray and go away, but it's starting to grow out real well. Another Nabal tree is in the world. The world needs more Nabal avocados. It's an excellent variety. I'm trying to reproduce as many of them as I can. I think the world would be a better place if there were more Nabal avocado trees in it, because I think it's just great. All right, everybody, thank you for watching as usual. As usual, give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know how your grafting is going. Let me know how your trees are growing. I always love to hear your comments. As usual, thank you for watching, and let's stay in touch. See you.